Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about IIFYM, which stands for If It Fits Your Macros. This is a very popular diet within the fitness community and beyond. One of the main draws of it is that there are no forbidden foods. So sit tight, watch my amazing intro and I'll tell you more. Right, so let's start with the basics. Calories are units of energy, and you need so many in a day to stay the same weight. That is called your maintenance calories because you maintain your weight. If you eat more than you need, that is called a calorie surplus. If you eat less than you need, that is a calorie deficit. A calorie surplus leads to weight gain, and a calorie deficit leads to weight loss. If all you're interested in is weight, then it's as simple as that. It really is. You can eat whatever you want, and as long as you're hitting your calorie targets, your weight is going to go up or down. When I say whatever you want, I mean whatever you want. This is Professor of Human Nutrition at Kansas State, Mark Haub. He is known for his Twinkie diet. For those outside the US, a Twinkie is a sponge cake with a cream filling. So to prove how effective a calorie deficit is, he ate Twinkies, sugary cereal, cookies and crisps for 10 weeks. In that time, he lost 27 pounds, almost 2 stone. He did this because he created a calorie deficit by moving his total daily intake from 2,600 calories down to 1,800 calories. So in terms of gaining or losing weight, simply change your calorie intake. That controls the number you see on the scales, but it doesn't control what you see in the mirror. What you see in the mirror is known as body composition, and that's things like body fat percentage and muscle mass. If you lost weight on a crappy diet and didn't exercise, chances are you lost some muscle mass. For body composition, you need to consider your macronutrients or macros. That is your protein, carbohydrate and fat intake. And that is what the If It Fits Your Macros diet is asking you to count. Professor Haub included whole milk and protein shakes alongside his junk food because he didn't want to lose muscle mass. If you lose muscle, you burn fewer calories at rest, which means your maintenance calories goes down, which means to create that calorie deficit, you have to eat even less. That's not good practice. So when you're losing weight, it's a good idea to hold on to as much muscle as possible. So depending on your goal and also personal preference, you can find the split that works for you. That is the percentage of protein, carbohydrate and fat that makes up your calorie total. Here are 3 examples. Remember that this is a calorie split and doesn't represent the grams of each type. Fat contains more than twice as many calories per gram than carbohydrate or protein. So for example, in the weight loss split where it says 30% carbohydrate and 30% fat, that could be 135 grams of carbohydrate and only 60 grams of fat. The easiest way to work it out would be to start with your calorie total and work backwards. So say you want to eat 2,000 calories on a weight loss split. 40% for protein would be 800 calories. You need to divide by 4 to get the grams. So 800 over 4 would be 200 grams of protein. 30% for carbohydrate would be 600 calories. Again, that's divided by 4, and that would give you 150 grams of carbohydrate. For fat, you need to divide by 9. 600 divided by 9 is around 67 grams of fat, and that would be your split. You would then plug these numbers into a calorie tracking app like MyFitnessPal and then try and hit those targets every day. This diet is not for everyone. People who hear eat what you want and think that translates to some form of the Twinkie diet are going to compromise their results. You have to consider your micronutrients as well, getting your vitamins and minerals from quality unprocessed foods. If dinner calls for 60 grams of carbohydrate, and you forego sweet potato in favour of Dr. Pepper, yes, you're hitting your calorie total, yes, you're hitting your macros, but no, you're not getting sufficient vitamins and minerals. If It Fits Your Macros is a great diet if you have a solid foundation of eating well, but don't want to be strict enough that you exclude certain foods. You could hit your macros with terrible processed foods. You might even look good on the outside, but you're likely to be building up mineral and vitamin deficiencies that are going to cause health problems in the long term. Another factor that determines success on the diet is satiety, which is just how full you feel. If your dinner involves sweet potato, you might feel satisfied right through to bedtime, whereas if you have a bottle of fizzy drink, you're going to have a massive blood sugar rise, an equally big crash, and you'll be hungry again an hour later. For the diet to be beneficial, you should look to have 80 to 90% of your foods from quality sources. That 10% of junk food is there to increase adherence, meaning the diet feels less like a chore, so you're more likely to stick to it. If you think of healthy eating as a form of punishment, that's going to increase your stress levels and promote fat storage, which is normally the opposite of what you want. So in summary, to follow if it fits your macros, you need to decide on a macronutrient split. The most important macronutrient for weight loss is getting adequate protein. Then decide on your total calories, which will be based on your goals. Maintenance calories is roughly 13 times your body weight in pounds, not factoring in exercise. Then you take your calories and work out how many grams you need of each macronutrient. Remember to divide by 4 for protein and carbohydrate and divide by 9 for fat. Finally, track it. I use MyFitnessPal. It has an easy interface. You can create a custom split and calorie total, and it even has a barcode scanner to save you reading nutritional labels. Remember, the majority of your calories have to come from quality sources. This is not a Twinkie diet. Thanks for watching, guys.